Hi ladies, welcome to my gym. Today we are in the gym and I'm going to walk you through what I do for leg day. I'm going to take you through my first day of leg day. So I train my legs twice a week. I usually do my legs on a Monday and then the second section I do it on a Friday so that I have the whole weekend to recover. So, quick backstory about me. I've been lifting weights before it even became fashionable for women to lift weights. I've been lifting since 2005, a few months, I think 6 weeks after I gave birth to my first daughter. And well, I don't look it like right now that I've been lifting weights since 2005. But I fell off about 5 years ago. I went through something, you know, when you go through things that just take everything out of you. And I went through that and it just took so much out of me. I didn't wake up for like, I think 5 or 6 years. So I only started waking out seriously in terms of strength training. I only started doing that this year around February, but I must say my eating has just been so bad because, you know, when you go through that phase where the budget is so tight and you can't meet your protein goals. So I've been going through that, but from this month I've decided to take it seriously. So yeah, so I've been lifting weight. I'm going to show you a photo, probably will pop up here now, of how I used to look in my 30s, late 30s, and well, and a few months ago, and you'll just see the comparison of how fit I used to be and where I was a few months ago and where I am now. So the progress when you're doing strength training is very slow. It takes months and sometimes even years. So for my goals right now, my transformation goals, I've given myself from where we are right now. This is June 2026. If you watch this in 2029, this is June 2026. And I'm giving myself 6 months. So 6 months is for a woman that is losing hormones, where the metabolism has slowed down. I think it's reasonable to give yourself enough time so that it's realistic. You don't give up along the way and say, how come I haven't lost weight in 30 days? How come my butt is not toned, my legs are not toned within 30 days? So 6 months is what I'm giving myself. So if you see me toned, I don't like using the word toned, but if you see me in 6 months and you're asking, what did you do? This, what I'm about to show you, is what I do on my first day for the week for legs. So let's get started. So like I said, I train my legs twice a week, and then my workout for the week is split into 4 days. I only exercise currently 4 days a week. So I have a split of back and biceps and abs. And then I think on a Thursday I do chest, triceps and shoulders. And then Friday I do legs again. Tuesday I do jumps. My cardio is jumping. I'm trying to strengthen my bones. And so when I start with my warm-up, it's lateral kickouts. There is a name for it, but right now I can't remember it for the life of me. So I just try to open up my glutes. So I do these like 3 sets. So that's, I think, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It also helps me with balance, trying to work on my balance as well. So I do 3 sets of 12 and then I switch to the other leg. And after that, I will do squats, really deep squats. I'll turn this side and just show you. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, and 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So after I've done 12 lateral kicks, 12 this side, 12 this side, that's one set, another 12 this side, 12 that side, 3 times. I do 3 times of the deep squat, and then I'm ready to work. Usually on Mondays I do work a lot with dumbbells, and then on Friday I will use the barbell. So I'm going to show you. I start with focusing on my quads, and that's I usually do an elevated goblet squat. So I use plates to elevate my heels, and if you don't have that, you can use books or whatever platform you have. A step is too high, so I think just 2 books that are of the same height. So put my elevating the heels like this helps you focus more, concentrate, and isolate the glutes more than you would normally do when your feet are flat on the ground, on the floor. So just make sure your whatever platform you have there is stable, otherwise you might fall and injure yourself. So I do that. I'm going to work with a 20 kg weight, and I'm gonna put that here. So if I'm using the barbell, it's just the same thing. I'll pop it up there, and I'm going to do 12 sets. And if I do 12 sets on one day, I'll do 10 the other day. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and the last one. Okay, so once that is out of the way, then I move to, so I didn't mention how many sets I do. I do 4 sets times 12. And then after that, I move to hip thrust. I give myself enough time to recover in between, because it's just not helpful for me to do the weight without proper form, because I'm panting from the previous exercise. So I give myself enough time to recover and move to the bench. So if you're at home and you do not have a bench, you can do this on a chair or on a couch. So just make sure that whatever you're going to use, my bench is a little bit higher than I would like. It should be up to your shins. And I'm just going to turn it around and demonstrate to you. Maybe let me do it here, and then I'll turn it around when doing the actual exercise. So to make sure that you are doing this workout, this exercise properly, you have to sit on the floor And like so, sit on the floor, and right here where your knees are, that's where you're going to position your feet. So you're going to bring it in like that. Now, I look weird. I'm going to switch the bench and show you from the side. So here I am on the floor. So you sit on the floor, and where the position where your knees are, that's where you're going to bring your feet and then turn them out a little and open it up. I've found that sometimes I will hit the glute with my thighs open and sometimes with the thighs closed. I don't know how that works. I think it's because sometimes I use a lower bench and sometimes I use this one that is high. So it could be that. And then you have to make sure that where your back rests on the bench is this part here where the bra ends. I don't know if you can see it, but that part there, that's the part that should rest on the bench. We're not here like that or like this, right there. And then your neck is not flat like that. You're facing forward. You've got like kind of locked, or your knee. No, that's not a knee. What's wrong with me? Your chin is touching, not really touching, but slightly on your chest. Don't lock it in because then it just cranes your neck. So then before you do all that, make sure your weight is close to you. Because if you're working out alone, it's going to be a little bit awkward. You're going to miss that spot where your feet are supposed to sit. So for me, that's there. And so I've got that going. And I sometimes use the barbell because it's just easier, but I like working with the dumbbell, especially when I'm using lower weight. So I'm still working with the 20 kg that I use for squats, and I'm just going to drop it down and drive the movement from my glutes. So right now I'm feeling it, and 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And bring it down. So when I'm doing my workout, this is usually 30 kgs, and when I'm using the barbell, then it's like 40, 45 kgs. Okay, so that is out of the way. That focuses on the glute. If you want that nice tight bum, like so, this should be your best friend. Okay, so I'm going to show you what I do next. So the next thing I do is a deadlift, and on this day, particular day, I'm doing a full Romanian deadlift, and that is that. So it's weights in both hands, but on other days, other weeks, I'll do either, I will elevate my foot on a bench and then isolate in like that. And then some other days, I will just lift the leg off the floor and then take it down and up. So for the purpose of this video, I'm just gonna show you, because I'm going to do my actual leg session after this film because I haven't worked out yet. So this is why I'm going light. I've got 10 kgs in each hand, and The good thing with my having this setup that I have is I don't have to have 1,000 dumbbells lined up. I've got a lot of plates, these plates. So my dumbbells are adjustable. So that helps me not have a stack. But I would like to have one day a few more that I don't have to adjust. Anywho, so with the Romanian deadlift, it's a hip hinge. It's not a bend, it's a hip hinge. So you hinge at the hip and then your back is nice and flat. You're facing forward, and so you're standing there, you hinge, facing forward. The weights have to be very close to your body. You don't want them out there because then you engage the back, and this is where most people complain that a deadlift hurts my back. Make sure the weight is close to your body, like that, and then bring it up to the shin and pop it back up. So sometimes, I don't know if it's because I'm tall and I've got long thighs, I'm not sure which one it is, but sometimes I will go below the shin for me to feel that stretch that I need to feel. So let me just put that down and adjust it, it's staying loose. So I'm gonna show you, I'm gonna do 12, and your feet are hip width apart. Don't forget that stance. And then hinge, and then take it down, and pop it back up, and slow and controlled. Three, 4, 5. So if I go there, I feel it more in my hamstrings than the glute. And right now I just want to feel it in my hammies. And 5, 6, and 7, and 8, and 9, ten, and 12. So I just want to mention that a deadlift, it's more about the movement and not the load. So don't go for the load and say, yeah, I deadlift 50 kgs, 100 kgs. You have to make sure that you're feeling that stretch. So it's form before weights, well, for any workout, but because the deadlift engages the back, which at our age, in our 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, you don't want to mess with your back. So make sure you get it right first before you add load. Okay, so that done, I do 4 sets, and depending on how I'm feeling. If I'm feeling adventurous, I will do 5, but I do not go beyond that because then I'm just fatigued and I'm not going to do it properly. Okay, so depending on where you are on your fitness journey, you might only need to do 3 sets and then add weights. So you have to make sure you're adding weights whenever it feels easy, because there's this thing now of women must lift heavy. Women must lift heavy. We don't need to lift heavy, we just need to lift right and progress as we go on, not start with 50 kg to prove a point that you lift heavy. Okay, so I'm gonna take you through my next exercise. And then next I move to lunges, and depending on the day, I'll do forward lunges, I step out, I step back in, I'll focus on one leg, and then switch legs. So today I'm going to do, when I wake up, I'm doing reverse lunges. So the feet are fit width apart, and then I step out and step back. So if you are focusing on glutes, on activating the glutes, you have to lean slightly forward, like we do soon. And then, so that's slight lean forward, and then you step back and bring it forward. So if you're working with weight, you can use one arm. If I'm using the load in one hand only, I will have it on the non-working leg. So I will have it on the leg that is moving, and then have this leg feel the burn. So it's like that, and I'm just going to add weight. I'm going to add 5 kgs in each hand, and step out, step back, and so it's like that. And right now I cannot see whether this is at 90 degrees because I don't have a mirror in front of me, but that's what I do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So I'll do 10 reps, and then times 4 or 3, depending on how I'm feeling. I just want to mention that you have to keep your weight in that leg that is planted on the floor, so that this leg is only helping you move up and down. On days that I'm tired, I prefer doing a static lunge than up and down, because it takes a lot out of me. Like you can see, I'm out of breath. So how that looks like is this. So I'll be there, and then I just do that. So if you want to add a little bit of cardio to it, then you do up and down. And then if you want to take it further, you can do a pendulum lunge. So how that looks like, with weight, you step in front. That is more glute focus, more quad focus, and then you take it down like that. But I don't usually do that. I focus on one muscle group at a time. But if you do not have enough time, you've got less than an hour to do your legs, you can do walking lunges or a pendulum lunge where you take it back and forth. All right. The next one. The next thing I do is leg extensions, and I think if you do not have what I'm going to use now, if you don't have access to a gym and you're just doing this at home, there's several ways that you can wake your quads, and that could be how do they call these? Like that. You add weight in your hands. This will work on your quads more. I can't remember the name, but it's some Nordic name that they give to that squat. And also you can use the Bulgarian split squat as well, with a focus on the quads. So I've got the privilege of my bench having this attachment that allows me to do hamstring curls and also leg extensions. Like, it's ancient, but it works. So if you are in a gym, obviously you're going to use one of those fancy machines. And so I do to sit back. So I do 12 sets. This works on my quads. And you can see it's not the best, but it works. Yeah, so I do that 12 sets and then times 3 or 4. And then I move to the last exercise, which is calf raises. So in my family, we've got really big cows. So I try not to add weight, or just add minimum weight to my calf raises. So it's just a basic move, really. You stand fit, hip width apart, and then you just stand on your, ooh, I feel that. Stand on your tippy toes, pop it up and down. If you're doing it right, you will feel it in your glutes as well. So pause, and if you want to add load to that, then you add weights. Like I said, 5 is the most that I use, because I've got really nice big legs. I don't want them to get bigger than they are, even if they are nicely toned. They grow really big. Okay, so I'll do that with just 10 kg overall, and I'll do 10. So if you want those nice looking dancer legs, you need to add calf raises anyway. You just need to add calf raises to your leg workout to complete everything else, because with weak calves, you're going to have knee pain. Yeah, that's about it. So talking about knee pain, most of us in our 40s, 50s, 60s, we always look for alternatives to squats, because I can't squat because my knees, I have knee pain. Knee pain is usually because your muscles around the legs and the glutes are weak. So practice without weights, and you will feel the pain reducing as you go. Because when I started back in February, my knees were on fire. I had knee pain, but now it's gotten better. Like, the only time I'll feel knee pain is when I'm just getting out of bed, but then I've got stretches that I do to get everything working and nicely oiled up. You can check that in my videos. And so I'm able to do that without any pain. And then I do not take any protein supplement currently. I don't see the need for it. Probably later I will. I used to, in my younger years, take protein, but it's just too sweet for me. So the only supplement that I'm taking at 45, I'll be 45 in 3 months' time. The only supplement that I'm taking is creatine monohydrate. I don't take anything else. So if you want to follow my other workouts, I'm going to do upper body, the split that I do, and also the other leg workout. Eventually I will show you. But if you want to follow my other videos, I do workouts like and subscribe and turn on your notifications. Thanks for watching and